G'day team, I'm Belth and this is Dog Shadow Gaming, the channel where we live to game and game to live. And well, today we got our 7th episode in our Vermintide 2 Let's Play, or walkthrough, or beginner's guide. I haven't really decided. No, I'm just joking, guys. I have decided. So basically this guide, as I've said in the other ones, if you've been following them and watching them, hopefully you've been learning a little bit about the mechanics of the game. It's really set for people up to and including champion level play. You can use all of the tactics that I am teaching you for Legend, but I'm not going through the, absolute #1 best weapon for every character. I'm going through the ones that I like, that do work. If I know the meta, I will talk about it and give you a little bit of a rundown as I play the game. As always, I'll be playing with bots and on veterans, so I can take the time to talk a little bit more about things that are important to the class. Choke points, all those sorts of bits and pieces. While we're going through the class, we'll also be going through the level. I'll be showing you where the tomes and the grims are, if I can, where possible. But normally I get to show you all of them anyway. We did miss one on the last one, unfortunately missed one of the grims, but I did explain where it was, so hopefully everybody got that. I didn't get any comments about it, so that's cool. Without further ado, today we're looking at Victor Saltzpyre and his bounty hunter class. Now, Saltzpyre, I find you either love him or you hate him. I'm not a massive fan. Competitive play, high-end Legend. I'm seeing a lot of his Zealot coming out just because of the extra, I suppose, the extra survivability of it. Personally, I'm a bounty hunter fan. When I do tend to play him, I play him for the guns. Well, in my case, I play him volley. The latest sort of solo plays from JSAT and that would have, I think his last couple he was using the crossbow, but we'll get into that in a tick. It's not my favorite weapon, but I have played around a little bit with it. Saltzpyre is the only one I haven't got to 30 out of all the guys, and he's probably the only one I don't spend a lot of time on, just because I just don't enjoy him that much. But I will give you how to make him viable and how to have a bit of fun with him. He's got like some great lore and stuff behind him. The rest of he's kind of like, he's the guy you love to hate in the group, and they all sort of pick on him for being a bit of a badass. And he does have and when I say badass, I don't mean like badass in a good way. I mean like he's literally just not a very nice person. But we'll move on from here. Let's have a look at him. There is 3 to Saltzpyre. You come with the Witch Hunter Captain, you've got the Bounty Hunter, and then you've got the Zealot. And again, as I said, we're on the Bounty Hunter today. So, first up, his passive ability. Granted, guaranteed range criticals every 10 seconds or melee kill, or on melee kill. So that's not too bad. You get a melee kill, then you get a critical. So, like, crits are... it's guaranteed crit. You can, with there is a skill to lower this to 7 every 7 seconds. Let's keep going to his career skill, his F-bomb, his special. Victor fires a powerful shot that pierces enemies. Now this can be quite good. It is fairly powerful, right up into champion. I want to say right up to champion, you can pretty much one-shot a Chaos Warrior. Definitely one-shot it in veteran and recruit. And in most cases, you'll one-shot depending on how you've spec'd yourself. Legend, not as much. I mean, again, depending on how you spec'd yourself. It is really, really good. It's basically a shotgun with a little bit more range. And later on, you can actually put points into like really speccing it out. And growing into it, and we'll show you some of that there soon. Ammo pouches increases ammo capacity by 50%, so it's really good. Quick release increases reload speed by 15%, so again, quite good. This really does, lean itself to being more ranged based, like when we played in the last one, we did the Ranger, and you're sort of seeing the same perks as far as this. What makes the Ranger, I think, better is #1, personally I think this is a much better ult a passive, then you guaranteed crits, because if you want to really crit, then you can sort of gear yourself towards that anyway. And then this is far, far more useful. Being able to, as a squishy character that's very range-based, being able to just get out of trouble, just smoke bomb out of there, far more useful than a shotgun ability when you're already shooting from range anyway. I mean, yeah, okay, you can use it to clear packs, but you'll probably see that in this playthrough, but it's not as effective by any way chance than the utility you get out of, the shades vanish. So, I mean, you've got 3 of these guys all with vanish, and this poor guy's got another lot. I mean, neither does the mage, but even like this has almost a, what would you call it? You got hang on, what is it? It's a teleport. You got a teleport here. This one's got a heat-seeking missile that just takes everything out around you. And this one has an explosion, like an AoE explosion round, which clears everything around you and throws it all to the ground. So in retrospect, having a more powerful gunshot on a character that's already completely built for guns anyway, not always amazing. Now, when the game first came out, people were really speccing into this, and if you threw a purple pot at a Saltzpyre, he could just he could mince bosses by just repeatedly spamming this like shotgun blast. It has been it's been a bit nerfed since then, so it's not as effective. He's also, in order to make him sort of effective, you have to get him fairly like he's glass cannon. So you really got to play back of the bus, but we'll talk more about it as we get in, okay? So let's first, as always, we'll pull up his bits and pieces here, and we'll go into talents. Now, talents on the first 5, you've got swift reload, increases reload speed. Well, if you're going to be mostly ranged with this character, and almost everything, all his passives and everything does lend you towards that, then this is pretty hard to go past. And when you've got reduces range spread, I mean, I've seldom used this. I don't see huge potential in it myself. It depends on the weapon you're using. But the one that I prefer to use with him doesn't really use this. Increases attack speed. Yes, I mean, this is useful, but I think you can get it out of your trinkets anyway, and so not really. I mean, 5 attack speed, or increases your reload speed by 20%. Now, there's no trinket that will give you an increase of reload speed by 20%. None. So this I can just trinket into. This I cannot. And being a ranged class, this is, I mean, you just don't go past it, guys. Why would you? Do you know what I mean? Maybe, but then you're giving this up, and I just couldn't see the point. Level 10, you've got increased revive speed. I have never seen a use for this, to be honest with you. It's incredibly situational. So it's kind of like, yes, technically it could help you, but I mean, if you're clever about when you revive, and you could use your ultimate to clear around your party, you should have other party members who do have stealth or have tanky abilities like the dwarf or Kruber. They're probably better at reviving. If you're attempting with this particular character to wade your way through a heap of people to revive, you're in big trouble. There's a clutch moment here, and you're probably better off just shooting everything around him. So again, I never take it. It's not an ability I think is really worth it. So necessary means gain 25% increased power when out of ammunition. Well, look, currently speaking, I don't think there's any class that 100% can keep up its ammunition cost. This one gets pretty close, very close. But I don't think there's any class that 100% does it. So, I mean, yes, but at the same time, you have to be out of ammunition to use this. So, I mean, if it was 25% when switching to melee weapons, much more beneficial. But I think it's incredibly niche, and you're not going to get your money's worth out of it, I don't think. So for me, the next one is increase the power boost of critical hits by 25%. Now, you are going to be crit heavy in this build. I mean, every 10 seconds you're getting a guaranteed crit. So this just stacks with that, to my knowledge. And I think it gives you a nice little boost. You are really going to be going for the crits in this build. with this particular character. I can't see any other way to build him, to be honest with you. But if you do know of another build, please do put down a link to a description or, you know, whatever. Pious Fervor. So critical hits grant 2 temporary health. Well, we've gone through this at level 15. You've got, oh no, sorry, that's the next one. Critical hits grant 2 temporary health. You will crit a lot, but it's like when I was showing you the Pyromancer build. You think you're going to crit a lot, but it's not that much. Like, it's not that much that you're going to crit. And, you know, could you say, well, yes, and combine it with level 20 skills where it kills grant us 2, this could be quite a lot of temp health. It really could be. And you are right. But as I look at it, I sort of sit there and go, reduces the cooldown of Blessing Shot to 7 seconds. This increases the amount of crits you do. So that's got, to me, it's going to be constantly proccing the whole way through the map. So that's got some value to it. Versus critical hit. So when it does proc, you're going to get 2 temp health. You're already getting temp health. Now, move on to the last one. Shots affected by Blessed Shot consume no ammunition. Now, so for this one, that's ammunition sustain. So if you're trying to play mostly ranged abilities, this is giving you every 10 seconds you're getting one back. And again, if that one back you're getting is you're charging it and shooting, if you're using the volley crossbow, for instance, or you're using the drum gun, or I can't remember what it's called. No one really uses it these days. And that Blessed Shot, when it's up and you time it right and use all 3 shots, well, you get all 3 shots into your target, and then you got all 3 of them back. So this can be beautiful if you time it correctly. It can give you a lot of your ammo back, and you're just pumping into bosses, into anything. Really, I quite like this better than I think I like this or this. And that's just me. This is about conservation of ammo. Now, moving on to the third one. Again, as I've always talked about in every one, it's not really a choice. I think you always want to go for the temp health here. It's just pretty basic. You don't want to, you just don't not want to be getting temp health ever. Okay, and then on to Encore. So you've got... And this is the one you can play with a little bit. I think this is a bit of personal preference. There's been plenty of videos on it if you want to look more into it. I don't know how it's changed with the new updates, the patches, but Encore reduces the cooldown of Locked and Loaded by 30%. So I've gone with that, plus my 10% gives me a 40% reduction into Locked and Loaded. It doesn't have a huge cooldown, so this means I get to use it quite a lot. Again, you'll find Locked and Loaded quite often will be your only choice to get out of trouble. You got a horde up in your face, and you're really struggling. This can be quite effective at, really pulling your bum out of the fire. It can also be really good at taking down, it can do a bit of damage to bosses. It is quite effective. Now, Double Shot modifies Victor's sidearm to fire 2 powerful bullets in a straight line. I mean, this also can be really good. And then Buckshot, I'd never really played around with it. Modifies Victor's sidearm to fire 2 blasts of pellets in a devastating cone. Now, if you were going to use this as more of a wave clear, this could be very effective. If you were just using it really if you got into trouble and stuff was up in your face, and you were just using it as a wave clear mechanism, or a get out, just blow everything away in front of you, could be really effective. I haven't seen too many people use it, to be honest with you. Double Shot can be quite effective, but I find this one, I don't know, I run with it just because I would like to run most of my characters to have that special up as often as I can, to be able to use it for its versatility as much as I can. And that's pretty big. So I tend to go with this. Even if I'm not using it every time it cools down, it's almost always there when I'm in trouble, rather than me sitting there going, oh, come on. And then I blow a big hole through things. So that's what I go, but I think realistically, this one just comes down to your playstyle and what you really want to do. Completely up to you. So I will close down that for now, and we'll go into equipment. Now, I tend to, and have done for some time, and you have to excuse the gear. It's not amazing because, again, I don't play him too often. So when I do play him, very oddly, it's usually just to try and finish him up. I can only stand a couple of matches with him. Again, it's just my perspective, guys. He's not a bad character. He's actually a really good character, and he can be really powerful, but he's just not my sort of play style. Usually when I do play him, I use the Falcon. I think it just, and I do use timed blocks as your trait, as always. There's a bit of power versus chaos, block cost reduction. Then we've got crit power and crit chance. Again, we're trying to push out the crits here. We move on to 20 health because he is squishy, and then 30 cost reduction just to block cost reduction, so that we've got as much block as we can. Moving on to here, I've got a little bit more power versus armored, and then a little bit more crit power again. So when we do crit, we're going to get that guaranteed crit. Remember, every 10 seconds we're going to get a guaranteed crit. So when it does crit, I want it to crit hard as much as I can. Increases duration of potions, I always put that on. Increases effectiveness of healing on you by 30%. This is for your temp health, to give that a bit of a boost. And then curse resistance, as always, for the Grims, as we talked about in previous ones, and a little bit more crit chance. And then grenades cause hit enemies to take 20% increased damage for 10 seconds. Again, I just think it's an amazing party mechanic. Now, looking at the other weapons, the axe, I think, is a little bit slow. It's not a terrible weapon. I just find it a bit slow, and I find it a bit ungainly. We've already got that one there. I can't like this weapon. It's all over the place. I'm sure if you were a master at it, you could do really well with it. I just don't like it. I don't think it has the precision. I don't feel like I'm as in control of it. I think I need to play with a lot more, to be honest with you. It's not a favorite of mine. The rapier can be really, really, really effective. However, it's very good because it has great range. It's really quick, and you get the gun. However, as you get higher and higher into the levels, it's great for recruit, it's great for veteran, it's okay for champion, but as soon as you start getting up to things like, high level champion, you're moving towards legendary. There's still guys who play legendary with this, don't get me wrong. I find it doesn't pack the punch I want, doesn't have the stopping power, doesn't have the clear potential. Yeah, I mean, you have a stab move that's very effective if you're getting headshots. There's the new two-handed sword. Now, this thing was just a garbage for almost the entire time VA2 has been up. However, it has had a lot of buffs in the last patch. Allows for bigger swings. You can do more damage with it. I have yet to really play around with it, so it's possibly a really good weapon as well. I find with the two-handed weapons, you have to be really, really good at them, because the timing has to be perfect, and you've really got to be watching around yourself. It's a bit the same as Kruber's two-handed weapons. If the timing's not right, you can get hit in between. So you can hit trade with this pretty effectively, I imagine, but you can get hit in between. So I tend to prefer the Falcon, or the Falchion, however you want to say it. Just because it's a little bit quicker, you can get the two-handed overhead strikes. It does have headshot damage, high damage, versatile, and it is all of those things. So I prefer this one myself. But as I said, you can. This is high damage, wide sweeps, crowd control. So I mean, up to you which you want to do. Realistically, I mean, because this isn't really a crowd control weapon, so this could be a little bit more crowd controlling, but I mean, again, totally up to you. For today's demonstration, I'm gonna go for the Falchion just because I prefer it. That's what I'm used to playing. So we've gone through the talents, we've gone through equipment. Cosmetic wise, I haven't really opened anything, guys. As I said, I'm still in 25 with this guy. So let's get into it, and we'll have a look at today's level. I wonder which one we're gonna do. Okie dokie, let's have a look. I don't know why I move there every time. You actually don't need to. Veteran private game. Cool. Okay, so last time, by the way, this is like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, I think, normally, but I'm just going through them this way. That's just the way I'm doing it, guys. I mean, it can be done any way you really want to be honest with you. Yeah. I believe it's meant to go Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, but here we are. Okay, so we did Convocation of Decay last time. So the next one here, we're going to switch across here and go back this way. So this one's now Hunger in the Dark, and this is... I'd have to say it's one of my favorites, and it can be a real pain in the ass, but it can also be a lot of fun. So let's get in, and we're gonna have a go. So Saltzpyre he's a witch hunter.
Those bile trolls ain't natural. Rot blood sorcerers are using some kind of altar to churn them out, and it's up to you to disrupt the whole operation with a bloody big bang. Yes, that's right. It'll take black powder to get the job done. I know there's more than enough fireworks laying around in Dreisdumpel mine, so use what you find and put an end to this nasty business.
Okay, so Victor Saltzpyre is a witch hunter captain. He is, or he's a witch hunter. In this particular one, he's a bounty hunter, so he's kind of gone up. He's gone screwed over by the Empire and decided to become a bounty hunter. But generally speaking, he's a witch hunter. And I mean, they are exactly as they sound. There's not really much more. They run around, you know, persecuting heretics, burning witches at the stake. They're not overly the most nicest people. However, at the same time, if you've read any of the lore on them, they're not all complete douchebags. They are actually there trying to stop chaos from basically insidiously taking over the Empire from the inside out. They're the internal watchdogs. So you'll notice there's kind of a left, right, left. So yep, left. Yep, there's like a swing pattern there, and that's kind of important too. And then the overhead is over there, as you can see that. Watch this. Headshots are really important. Does have armor penetration. And once you get a feel for the pattern, you can really do some damage. Overhead strikes, especially getting the head strikes, can do a lot of damage. So if you like push and then like that, there we go. There's our. So he's just run off. I don't know why he's run off. Here he comes. Whoops. So that was our volley crossbow, by the way. Don't need it. Oh, it's Barden's ammunition. How did he shoot him before I did? So I find it a really reliable weapon. It's great for getting those headshot kills. Here we go. Ammunition's already full. Let me come down here. Okay, and this is where you can sort of... Now, what you're looking for here is trying to get those headshots. The headshots will return you your ammunition. There's a couple of things with the volley. You can just sort of... It has multiple... See how I'm getting ammo back as I'm shooting? So I'm not just shooting one, I'm actually shooting multiples. It has penetration and it'll go through multiple things. And this is what makes it quite efficient. And you can see as I go through, I'm killing stuff, but I'm actually getting my ammo back as I'm killing them. So it has pretty good efficiency. Oh, hello. And if you're good at using it, what I love about the volley is it's got amazingly accurate fire. Now, you're thinking, okay, yeah, but you got this single shot, it's not as effective. This is only vet, and I'm taking stuff out one shot. You move up to champion, and it's obviously you're not going to get as good, but it's still headshots, and headshots are still one-shot kills in most, even to legend on most things, and depending again on how you decide to build it, obviously. Now, again, this is just like I was talking about in one of my past clips. Whenever you get a second of 5 seconds, whether you need to or not, whether you've only used one, maybe you've used... Here's the first tome, by the way, guys. Right here. So I'll just grab that one, and we'll grab that here. First tome, just down here, in the main room here. Now, in this main room, guys, you will almost very likely as we get into this open space, you'll get a troll, a spawn, something. Now we haven't got it this time, but quite often you will get one. Right, so as you come into the main room, it's just down here, off this main room, down here, to the left, and there's not much down there, down here, and then there's some potions, and there's all sorts of bits and pieces down there for you. So that's the first of the tomes right there. Pretty simple, not too hard. So as I said, again, you're very, very likely to get a troll or something here. Sometimes, now, that's the other one you can do. Remember to dodge and weave, keep moving. Don't just stand there making yourself a target. Remember that the computer will, the NPCs will quite actively try to circle around behind you to get a sneaky shot in. You kind of want to make sure that you're not allowing yourself to get snuck up on if you can. You notice I was getting a lot of the ammo back, not all of it. As I said, there's no real full sustain, but I was getting a lot of it back. And you can do some pretty good damage with this. Now, what's your role here? You might be asking. Well, it's pretty simple. You're here to take out any kind of specials. Yeah, which is pretty good. You're here to take out any specials from range. You're here to, and you'll notice that it has a single fire, or when the charge fire is just hold down the right and click it, and it'll do 3 bolts. Now these are piercing. See that? So yeah, quite good. Never mind my elf with the one-handed blue sword. I just got it as a red. It's the most useless red ever. For the shade anyway. I want to try it out on her other classes, but as a shade it just doesn't do the penetration damage. Now this is a little, like, basically you're going to pick up these things here and you're going to put them in the cart down here. I totally forgot to eject the cart, which was very silly, so we're going to head back up here. As I was just chatting to you guys, I forgot all about it. So we're going to come back up here. And I'm going to click the cart here. So, sorry, I didn't forget. I did click it. I just didn't stay with it. You have to kind of stay with it. Remember to shove, attack, shove. Notice there's quite a reliable swing with it. Try not to let them behind you. Just every couple of seconds, you notice I'm just sort of, yeah, I'll take that. I'm just checking behind me. You know, I'm smack, 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 check behind me, smack, 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 check behind me. Just so nothing sneaks up on me. Because usually with your sort of glass cannons, that's where you'll go wrong. You'll be sitting in the back of the bus, you'll be like, yep, I'm awesome. I've got all this health. I'm great, no one's touched me. And then, you know, something will just appear behind you. Because the spawn process is not always amazing as it should be. Now, the first barrel's sitting there. Usually you'll get 2 in here, and there'll be 1 or 2 across the other side. Notice how I sort of moved left and swang? Swing? Quite often there will be something in here. Could be assassins, could be whatever. So just keep an eye. Don't just assume there's nothing in that little hole because you can't see anything at the time. Because quite often, there will be. Yeah, and they spawn in here too. We got another one in here? We do. Yep. So normally when I'm carrying that sort of stuff, if I think I'm going to get surrounded, I will throw it well past the horde.
I walk beyond the light.
That was the special. Just so I don't know, the reason I do that, I throw it over the horde so I don't accidentally hit my barrel. I mean, in this case we could. I could just use it as an explosion, but... Hear that? Notice how I'm kind of letting Kruber do a lot of the tanking here, guys? I'm not trying to get bloodlust, you know, I'm not trying to go crazy and get all the kills. And this is one of the biggest things that I think recruits and veteran players, and even a lot of champion players, to be honest with you, they don't get it. They get bloodlust, bloodthirsty. And they'd rather kill things than work as a team or not use up all the health doing stupid shit which just loses your health, right? As I said, the higher you go, and I keep saying it, the higher you go, the less health you end up with. Now, what you can do here, a bit further on to get the Grim, you're going to need an extra barrel to throw. Now, more often than not, just trying to get it there is going to be a real pain in the bum, and you're probably going to lose it. But give it a go. There's another one closer to it if you need it. We're going to... So we'll whack that now. And I'll pick this up. So again, here can be hard, and you've got to try and throw this barrel. So, alright, we're just going to throw this now. I'm going to show you the special now. And that's the overhead swipe. When dealing with the Skaven armored stuff, an overhead swipe. Oh. Okay, we'll just give it a... Oh. Cool. What have we got? Okay. Full. Yeah, cool. So we're getting plenty, because we got Barden here and he's on range, we're actually getting quite a bit of ammunition. They make a good sort of pairing. Here we go. This is not the place we want to be to fight a troll. Son of a bitch. There we go. Now, this is where he can really come into his line. Watch this. Crap. I'm getting waterfall. Should have known better, Belth. Yeah, don't stand under the bridge. I didn't realize I was there. Because that is what will happen. Alright, now we've got him. Okay, we're going to try and aim for this head now. Don't have any ammo left. We're gonna hit up this one here. We're gonna smack him with this. And then we're gonna go like that. Gonna get this. And we keep moving, damn it. Let's clean this. Excellent, thank you. Now through here, hopefully I don't get hit by anything coming through. Normally you would allow your teammates to go before you, but because we're playing... See if they can deal with them this time. We're going to keep going. Now, just here, throw that barrel. Now, there was a bug with this, used to be that only the leader could actually do it, but now they fixed that and anybody could do it. So we came down there, we kind of moved to the right here, you found this spot here, pop the barrel there. If for some reason you blow up your barrel, I'll show you where the next one is. There is a secondary one, and right here is your first Grim. So pretty simple, not too hard to do. Pop back down here, and we're gonna go back through the hole that we just created using the exploding barrel. Now, if for some reason you can't get your barrel there, whatever, it's a bit of a pain in the bum, you can come up here if it's exploded, and then quite often you'll find there's another barrel right here, okay? Once you've done that, you can zip back down here and come here. Now, quite often you'll get a horde here. So sometimes, or a special like we have got, sometimes it's worth just sitting at the lip for a little bit and waiting for the horde if you think you're due one. Okay, and... Whoa. I'm out of ammo. So this is what I'm saying to you about it's not sustainable to think that you're always going to have ammo. I actually don't know a class yet that can have ammo up all the time. You can get pretty close, especially if you're really good at headshots. See the damage with the falchion, it's just amazing. You can't go past it. Now we're about to head into the dark, and this is the only part of the mission I don't like. I don't like the dark areas. Not because I'm afraid of the dark, but because it creates... I mean, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. This can create... If you're not a great player, you can freak out in here pretty fast and kill your whole team. You really got to try and stay with the group. Really, really don't want to be getting bloodlust here. Nice and controlled. Got a fire out there. Rightio. Yeah. So the reason I didn't move the thing I was waiting till that little pack hit us, because the light is coming from here. We're just gonna, whoop. Yeah, we're gonna take that. I'm gonna steal this before the bot does. Just drink the, oh, no, too late. Right, so you kind of want to stay. What a lot of them do is they get bloodlusty and then they run off into the dark, and you are guaranteed, almost guaranteed to die if you do that. Beautiful. Remember to use your... On the brawlers, by the way, it's overhead strike to the head. Now your second tomb is right here. There you go, right there. So there's a little box as you come through the cart, just before you hit this. This is always the same. There'll be chests here, just off the left, and it will be highlighted for you. Yeah, beautiful. Now the cart only moves as you are near it, right? You've got to push it. So, and then we get to here. Now quite often you'll get hit with a pack here. So it's good to sort of keep moving if you're not on it, because it's, in a lot of ways, you're better off fighting the pack. You're better off fighting the pack up here so that you can fight them as they climb up or on their way up. Much better than trying to fight them down there, where you quite often at that junction point down there, you'll get surrounded because they'll be coming out of every hole and every orifice. I know that didn't sound good, but it's just the way it is. Overhead strike, overhead strike. So you charge up with the left, bam, straight into the headshot. So okay, we've got a shield. Oh, someone's got me. Come on, boys. So as you can see, it's actually quite an effective weapon. Now there is a shield in there. And the overheads. So what I was waiting for there, I can do this. Okay, this will go down. So again, I could have just hit the car, right? And it would have gone down, but then we would have been chasing off into the darkness, which is not something you want to be doing if you don't have to, right? You want to control the fights, like I keep talking about. Make sure the fight's where you want it to happen. That's, like, I think, for me, I find it's half of the battle, really. It doesn't mean it always happens, but if you are in control of the card or you're sort of leading the mission, be sure that you're getting them wherever you can and controlling it as best you can. You can't always, right? But wherever you can. Now again, making sure that whenever you've got 5 seconds, you're reloading. So you're always starting with a fresh clip. Move up to here. Boys are doing really well. And this brings us to our second grim. I'm obviously not going to be able to pick it up. So in this big room, you're going to hit up this big room, all the skulls and rah rah rah. You're going to come up here, you're going to duck, come under this here, move over to here, up the ladder. And up here, you're going to sort of do, there's like a jump up here, yeah, that we want to get to. It kind of gets you around, right? Duck again, and here's your second grim. Which they won't pick up, but that's okay. What this also does is it gives you ammo. There's always an ammo chest here, always. Okay, and it looks like, whoop. It looks like we've got, oh wow, I've never had it come up here. I have absolutely never had it come up here. Remember, we can shoot multiple targets with this. And we're sitting right next to ammunition, so this is pretty good for a ranged character. This is pretty much gold for a ranged character. What are you doing, man? Get out of the way. Okay. There should be more of them. Sounds like there should be more of them. So what happens normally is they'll come at you just as you're getting in that room. So the big room, you'll end up usually fighting a horde in there. Okay, should be pretty right now. Got plenty of ammo. So they usually come at you in here. What I tend to find is they're going to hit you from the back and they're going to hit you from the front over here. The best way to do it is to try and get them on the lip here. Bye. Okay. Now hang on, we got to... There's a pack coming here. Gonna reload, so unless they're coming up here, we're just gonna let them go. I know, everyone's kind of like, no, go in there and kill them. Don't fight things you don't need to. I gotta stress this. I keep watching people, especially in the lower levels. You'll get told off in Champ and Legend. You just don't do it in Legend. It will, you just don't, ever, or you get booted straight out of the team. But, whoop. Oh, I'm totally missing everything here. There we go. Cool. So that was the second Grim. Yeah, as you can see, quite effective on those guys. I used the charge with the 3 shots. Now they're still coming, so I can hear them around the side. I'm gonna pull around here. Okay, we've got a horde coming. Shit, we don't want that. So we're gonna pull back over here. Hopefully my stupid bots don't pull back. And what we're really hoping here is that the bots don't pull that pack. Notice how I preempted the attack there? Shoved him to put him off balance. Constantly moving. Charge attacks where I can. Oh. There, see? Wasn't checking behind me. It's just a quick bang, just to have a look around, right? Just make sure you got nothing behind you. Okay, now I'm going to show you where the third and final... Oh, I just said all of that, and then I bloody well did it. Oh, I bloody well did it. Of course I did. There you go. Alright, well we finished him off. But anyway, normally I wouldn't do it. That was totally my bad. I'm sitting there telling everyone don't do it. Don't do it. If you do it by accident, fine. Now, when you come up here, usually there's 2 ways to do it. You can come up this side one here and sort of jump over that way. Or you can come up the front here. And you just sort of, guys, this is the easiest way. Go up the front, just jump up there. Oh, for God's sakes. Terrible aiming. Belth, terrible aiming. Now, this can be a bit of a pain. You want to try and hit it right at the apex to get across. And then up here, and then that's where it is. Now, they're probably not going to come up here. I don't think they'll even come up here if I do this. Will they? Probably not. No, they're not going to. Right, so it's just up there, guys, and that is your third and final tome. So that's 3 tomes and 2 Grims. Oh. See how I just got 8? I had 8 shots, and I just got 18 back. So that's with that Sacred Blessing. This can be really effective at hordes, as you can see, and equally really effective at bosses. That's why I prefer myself. I prefer the volley myself. You do have the crossbow, which is a little bit stronger than this, and it's just as accurate. I just don't find it as versatile. This is slower to reload, but it carries more ammo, which makes it a little bit more versatile for dealing with hordes, as you just saw, in my opinion. It does have, you know, as long as you're really good at your headshots, you got to practice your headshots. Why would you? Okay, that's what they do, man. That's what bots do. Can't do anything about it. So at this stage, you would have had your 3 Grims, your 2 Grims, your 3 tomes. You should be doing fairly well. Now, if you're a Shade right now, or just before here, you should be saving your purple potion, right? Because you're going to be wanting to use it. There is a boss here. Oh yeah, here you will almost always get a horde, guys. See how I could hear them coming? I want to try and give myself a bit of ground where they can't get behind me. Dirty bugger. I say that, and then I get something behind me, don't I? Making liars of me, Skaven. Making liars of me. But you see what I mean? I was trying to give myself a bit of distance and try and clear my back. This was my attempt. Now here, you're almost always going to get 1 or 2 berserkers. There we go. There he is. Always here. Always here. Whether they come out of over here or they come out behind you, there will always be 1 to 2 berserkers. So be ready for it. Even if you think, oh no, they haven't come this time. They almost always will. We keep moving. Cool. Okay. So almost always you will get them. Now. Whoop. Now the difference in this one is you can't really focus in. Now the other thing you're going to get up further, always, at a certain stage, yeah, they're going to have them coming up here, up the sides. If you get a pack while that's happening, you're going to... The other thing you are going to almost always get is as you get a bit further up here, you are going to get some plague monks. There'll be 3 of them. You should hear it coming. If you're listening for the cue, you should hear it. And here they are. And there we are. Now you want to try and save a little bit of ammo here and fill up. Okay, so one thing I would say is wait until you don't have a horde on your back. Once you don't hit this when you've got a horde sitting on your back. I think it was that one, wasn't it? Should be this. Ah, such a monkey. I did it again. There's the cart we're meant to be bringing with us, and I'm just not thinking. So we're going to go back and get the cart. Oh my god, can't believe that. Everyone's sitting there who's played this and they're laughing at going, Belth, you didn't even get the cart, man. Silly. Let me get back here. Alright, so you gotta get the cart, guys. That's twice. Okay. I'm gonna try and save that.
One of us must stay with the car.
Yeah, he's saying it. Should be you, Belth. Oh, cheeky buggers.
Shield me from sight.
Okay, shifting back. Okay, we're going to keep moving up. Now, once the card is actually up there, since it's the bait. Diving in, using my Okay, so once the bell is done, I'm gonna reload. I'm gonna wait till we're through all this, and then I'm gonna hit the bell. I'm gonna hit the bell. Okay, now the troll is gonna come out from up here. So we're gonna get out our bomb. We're gonna toss it at him to get our extra bit of damage. We're gonna walk forward. We're gonna use our... Okay. Oh, yes. Now that is fairly new. I think it was with the pat. I don't actually think it's never done that before. It's something that's new. You don't normally get rats come up, just spawn right behind you as soon as the boss is up. But anyway, look, we threw the bomb in to get the extra, to do a bit of damage, get the extra, then we used our special. As he's dead now, so you start, hang on, where am I? Yeah. Start moving, no, that's the wrong way. My bad, around here. Go around the corner. I was like, what's going on here? We will just reload, just because. And the trolls come out, and then they get deaded rather hard. Deaded hard. And from here, guys, you should have your 2 Grims, your 3 Tomes. You should be doing pretty well. As I said, the keys to this one is really ranged, understanding how to use the volley. It looks like simple, but it takes a little getting used to. And once you're good at using it, I mean, you can just pull off multiple headshots the whole game through. The more headshots you pull off, the more ammunition you're going to get back, basically, is how it works. And that's it. That is the Bounty Hunter on Hungering in the Dark. As I said, Hungering in the Dark is one of my favorites. I actually really enjoy it. I think it's a great mission. It's got a good balance. Again, where most people tend to die is usually in the dark section of it. They either freak out, or they get blood hungry, or they get bloodlust hungry, or they run off into the dark by themselves, get surrounded. Then somebody else goes, "Oh no, we better get him up," and so they run off, and then the whole team just wipes. Stay together, stay around the cart, don't run away. Look for the drop-off points. I showed you a couple of them where you can make the pack jump up and therefore make them prone for you. Really, really good. Like we did on the ledge there, where I was just shooting down, nice and easy, although that doesn't happen very often, to be honest, in all the games I've played. That's the first that's ever happened. And that's really him. He's a glass cannon. It's all about range. It's all about movement. The Falcon is great. It's quick. It does lots of damage. I still think it's his #1 weapon. I think it was his #1 weapon really in V1, and I think it's still his #1 weapon here. I haven't played with the 2-hander. There will be other clips out there if you want to look at the 2-hander. Yeah, pretty good. If I'm playing Saltzpyre, I tend to play this character, this Bounty Hunter. And that's about it, guys. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below. I will absolutely happily help you with anything you need to know, any questions you have. As always, guys, if you've enjoyed it, please do smash the thumbs up. Whether you're on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube, that thumbs up really helps me to get my videos rated a little bit more and get other people to see them and the content. We are slowly growing, very, very slowly, but we're growing. We're about 23. We got about 23 subscribers on YouTube. So if you are watching on YouTube, Facebook, jump over to YouTube and give me a subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, fantastic. Then just like, follow the page and share it out with your mates. And you can also follow me on, as I say every time, Twitter and Instagram. Instagram is just Dog Shadow Gaming, same as the channel. And then Twitter is Dog Shadow Game 1. Outside of that, guys, I'm trying to get onto Minds at the moment because it's just another platform to get out on. And yeah, might even go to BitChute or wherever else. Somebody told me that was another good platform. Still going on the stream. That's going to be happening. Going to be moving on to Twitch and streaming. Just still waiting on my guy who's helping me set up my stream page for Twitch. So once that's all set up, we'll be streaming. I might stream a little bit of this. As I said to you, now that I've recently moved to Vietnam, I can only really play with Vietnamese people, which is fantastic. There's some really good Vietnamese people that I've met online who play, but it's a very small community compared to Australia and obviously the US and that sort of stuff. But if I try to play with Australians, I just lag them out really badly, so it's not any good. So yeah, anyway, guys, as always, please leave a comment if you've liked it, and I'll catch you on the next Dog Shadow Gaming. Whatever it is. I think we'll probably be doing Mordheim next, would my bet. Oh, I've also got a new Total War out for Boris Todbringer. So I've got my Karakadran Irongrim Slayer, using mostly Slayers as my army, just because I've always wanted to do just almost all Slayer army. I don't think you can do just all Slayer army, but mine's like, I'd say it's like 70-80% Slayers. And so we've got one campaign running there in the new area with Karakadran and all Slayers, and then I've opened up a new one. I was thinking I'd really like to do Empire, but I want to do something that's a bit different, a bit out there. So I really wanted to play Boris Todbringer, and I've wanted to play him for a while, but I couldn't. I was a bit like, yeah, but it's just a different general who's pretty vanilla, and he doesn't really have any different mods. So what I did is I started playing on Steel Faith, and Steel Faith, the Steel Faith Overhaul mod, number 2, allows you, it brings in the Priest of Ulrich, who is the other god. He was Sigmar's god when Sigmar was a man. And so you can actually play Boris Todbringer with a couple of mods. I do mean a lot of mods. You can play Boris Todbringer in Middenheim, right, in the Middenland. So you start off in Middenland with Boris Todbringer, and then you can actually build into, like, you just get basic Empire units, and then you build a temple to Ulrich. And you can actually build into Ulrich units. So you can get Knights of the White Wolf. You can get basically the same version of, Flagellants. You can get a Flagellant version for Ulrich, which is really cool. So I'm just about, I've just put in episode 2 down. So if you haven't seen them, jump on them. Next episode or the one after, we should be able to get our temple up and running. So we'll start to get the Flagellant type, I can't remember, the Wolfkin or something like that, I think. And then you get Teutonic Guard as well, which is like the heavy guards of Ulrich, which is really cool. So we'll get this really themed Ulrich RPG sort of roleplay through going. And it's just a very different aspect on the Empire playthrough for Total War Warhammer 2. So I hope you enjoy that, and if you want to jump on that as well. I've also got a Gods pack on there where any general that you recruit, just standard generals, they can actually choose a god they want to specialize in that gives them a little bit of a buff, which is cool. So yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, you want to see something a bit different, then go for that. I'm also thinking about doing if we can get some mods to line up with Steel Faith, maybe even a Skaven campaign, because the Steel Faith adds some underway stuff, which is really cool. Or, I don't know, doing maybe a Grimgor Ironhide on Steel Faith. I don't know if they've changed him much because he needs a bit of buff in the vanilla. And maybe, or even Warzag, the Great Green Prophet, because he's a bit different. But either way, guys, let me know in the comments below if you can see something else you'd like to watch. I've also been thinking about doing a Chaos playthrough for Mordheim, as I know that not a lot of people have done real Chaos playthroughs. There's some out there for everybody, but there's not a lot of Chaos ones, so I thought that might be fun. Anyway, guys, that's it. Enough rambling for me. This video is about an hour long. I want it to be 45, but that's the way it happens. I will see you later. See ya. Bye.